Welcome everyone to our free subscriber workshop. This is a presentation about the clarity hierarchy. This is the intellectual property of my friend Lucas Rashevsky. It's a powerful process for making decisions better and boosting and accelerating your ability to get clear about and create more certainty that you can achieve your business priorities or your personal priorities or whatever the priorities are that you're trying to close the gap on. Everyone here already knows this, but for the purpose of this replay, I'll just say I'm Scott Perry. I am the publisher of the Creative on Purpose Substack. I'm also your guide in the Close the Gap 90-Day Business Accelerator, and I help purpose-driven solopreneurs simplify and stimulate their client or customer acquisition systems so they can build a fulfilling part-time business that funds and fits around their ideal lifestyle. I'm going to drop a link in the chat for you all. For those watching the replay, this will be available somewhere. This is to make sure that you have access to any of the resources that I might be referencing. I have published one article about the clarity hierarchy that is in that list of resources in the link that I just shared, and this recording will become part of those resources as well. So that link leads you to a very loose curriculum of previous articles and trainings that will allow anyone that's watching to access and do it yourself in terms of creating a successful solopreneur business. Today's workshop is going to be we're going to learn a 5-step process or approach to achieving your business priorities in less time and with greater certainty. If you have some idea of what your business priorities are and you want to accelerate achieving them, then you're in the right place. If you're not a member of the Catalyst Club community of paid subscribers, you'll definitely want to make sure that you have pen and paper and are taking notes. However, if you are a Catalyst Club member, you will also have access to the replay, and I am happy to share any slides or presentation notes with you after the broadcast. And so what's going to happen is I'm going to do about a 30-minute, I think, presentation on the clarity hierarchy, and then we're going to go into the exclusive Q&A and implementation session with the Catalyst Club community. Okay, so the clarity hierarchy is exactly what it sounds like. I'm going to show you a visual in a minute, but it's a hierarchy, a pyramid, to help you become clear about so that you can get closer to not only your priorities, but the path that will get you there with the greatest ease and velocity. Before we get into the hierarchy, though, what I need to do is talk a little bit about this idea of function over form. So how many people here, just by show of your actual hands, are familiar with the term form over function? So form over function is something that we talk a lot about. It's actually something that in a lot of ways digital marketing is built on, right? When you go to your average sales page, what do you see? You see a long presentation of all the features and benefits of the thing that's on offer. And usually there's this huge bonus stack, and there's this whole plan or strategy around making the bonus stack more valuable than the thing itself that you're selling. You know, there's this attitude, this idea that the more features and benefits you can put into something, the higher value it has, and the more that you can charge, and the more people will buy it. That's a form over function approach to trying to market. But this idea of form over function is that historically it is rooted in the exact opposite. So the father of the modern skyscraper is a person named Louis Sullivan. And if you think about all the buildings that are part of the historic New York City landscape, they are following his architectural tenet that form ever follows function, meaning function comes first. And so if you think of buildings like the Chrysler Building or the Empire State Building or the Flatiron Building, or just think of your average bank, it looks like it serves the function of protecting your money. A big, gray, imposing, intimidating stone building where your most valuable resources are kept safe. That's a function over form approach to building a building, because you all know what a fan I am of ancient philosophy and spiritual traditions. Louis, uh, or I don't know if it's Louis or Louis, but Louis Sullivan got that term from an ancient Roman architect and engineer named Marcus Vitruvius Polio. And he wrote a book called De Architectura, which is on architecture. And what he said was that every piece of architecture should follow three principles. It must be solid, it must be useful, and it must be beautiful. So the form, the beauty, comes after it fulfills being solid and useful. After it serves its function. So the form, the bedazzling that you're doing to any offer or any item that you create is supposed to come after you make sure that you're serving the function. But that's not the way that human beings are wired. We're wired for more. We're wired for all the extras. And so even though more does not get us closer to what we want, because actually more only complicates and crusts up a working system, we're wired to chase after that. The reason why so many digital marketers use this format of feature and benefit stacks and bonus stacks, focusing on all the extras, is because it works, because it plays to our default human programming. So it's not to say that form doesn't matter at all. It's just that it doesn't matter if you don't have a solid foundation that it's built upon or added to. So you have to think about, is it useful for the intended purpose? And if you want to build some features and benefits on top of that, that can be helpful, doesn't necessarily make it helpful. So why am I talking about function over form when we're supposed to be talking about the clarity hierarchy? Well,